What is going on, guys? We are back with another video today. Technically another stream. I mean, it's been a while. It's been a while. And we are looking at the stats and awards of our Raiders franchise. Of course, technically we're also looking if we made the playoffs, but I'm pretty sure that we did. Let's just, rip that band-aid right off. I would be shocked if we didn't. And we, of course, did. We also have one last hurrah, which could be Richie Incognito. We also play against the Browns here, who are an 88 overall team. I mean, okay, sure, the head coach goal is shut out Cleveland. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, it's playoffs, and it's a really good team. I would expect it. Blizzard with a hot opponent. I mean, that kind of negates each other, right? Funny, hot, cold joke, man. Really good stuff. But let's take a look at the schedule. Let's take a look at, how we played, obviously. I should remember these things, but I don't. We started out 1-3, 1-2, lost 1. Does anyone remember where Trubisky started? This might have been the last game for McKenzie. No, because I remember Trubisky took over one of the games. Was this the one? No, this was before that. So, man, we really gave McKenzie a lot of opportunities. I mean, he can't blame anyone but himself. It wouldn't have been this game, would it have? No, McKenzie kind of bounced back there. It wasn't the Chiefs. Oh, yeah, I think it might have been the Chiefs that Trubisky came in, right? Yeah, Trubisky came in against the Chiefs, almost won the thing, and then never looked back. So, I mean, as you can see, just based on this, almost won that game, and we ended up going 5-1 with Trubisky, with our only loss coming from the Chiefs. Pretty much a similar loss. It really doesn't matter who the quarterback is. It just doesn't seem like we're gonna beat that team. Maybe someone else can beat them, and then we can go to the Super Bowl. I don't know, but you also see there on the right side that Ferrell, 24 sacks, broke the record, and nobody else did. So I don't know if that's the all-time record, but the original record was at least broken because, once again, I don't know what year one was like. I think someone went off year one, so I don't know if it was. No, it is. Okay, so Clelin Ferrell is the all-time sack leading guy. I was going to say scorer, but 24. He is now the man to beat. And I will say, there's a good chance that he does get beat, but as for right now, he is that guy. And looking at the numbers here, of course, Dwayne McKenzie, touchdown to pick ratio was awful. Completion percentage wasn't too much lower than Trubisky, but once again, we have had a lot more opportunities with Trubisky where we've trusted him right before the half to, try and get some looks, trying to see what happens, whereas McKenzie, we just know, hey, it's not worth the risk. But of course, pretty damn good stuff. Once again, maybe he didn't give Huntley a fair shake, but you could also see 58% completion percentage, 7-5. I mean, there might have been a lot of bad, a couple of drop picks, could have been, really bad throws. I can't remember, but I do remember he was rough, but I also think McKenzie got more opportunities than he deserved. So, I mean, that's just the way it is. Jacobs, really good season, 5 yards per carry, 11 touchdowns, got better, near the end of the season. 1,500 yards. Did not get Drake involved as much as we should have at all. But I suppose for how good Drake has been in relieving Jacobs early on in the year, you can see that the numbers aren't that great for him. So maybe worthy of a, kind of a loss of role there. Whereas Darren Waller is, he went off. I mean, you can see he basically matched Jacobs' numbers, but in the receiving game, Edwards was okay, but there's a lot of set-up things rather than him just going out and making a play. Deshaun Jackson was really solid for us, but he had a couple of injuries, and Kenyon Drake did get involved in the receiving game, and Cooper got the job over Renfro late. But yeah, that's the biggest position of need, wide receiver for a fact. I mean, we don't even know if Deshaun Jackson's going to be back next season, because of course he's obviously an old man, but still going strong. O-line, we don't talk about it, specifically the right tackle spot. Kwiatkowski and Merrick with over 100 tackles on the season. Sacks, Clelin, 24.5 from the DT role, from the interior, which is insane. Max Crosby with 7, Gresham 4.5, Reed 4. Really not great numbers from everyone else. I mean, just not great at all. Interceptions, Mullen, I mean, he was pretty good. Year one, he was great. This year, I mean, a little bit less great, but obviously still the number one. I will say I've been loving what Okudah's been doing. He just can't catch, but I suppose there's more that goes into playing corner than catching the ball. Daniel Carlson, he's so good. How did he play last year? Was it also a perfect kicking season? Oh, maybe not so much. Okay, interesting. 22 for 22. Of course, a couple of missed extra points. We don't worry about that. Josh Core, that can't be great. 41.5. I mean, there was a lot of directional punting, but yeah, that is by far the lowest. I mean, it's even worse than Ryan Winslow, who looks like he came in for an injured player. Yikes, but it is what it is. Looking at the kick returns, Thomas Cooper. Gotta be a Pro Bowler, right? 3 touchdowns, 2,000 yards. Punt returns really didn't have much going for ourselves, but yeah, I mean, that's a pretty good season from Cooper. I mean, there's a couple of guys that actually perform pretty well, but Patrick Mahomes MVP with Lamar Jackson close behind. Watson, we wouldn't have had anyone, right? Maybe Clelin. And number 7. I mean, he's the highest by far of any defender. He's actually the only defender on the list, which doesn't surprise me one bit. Mike McCarthy, the coach of the year. Where were we? Come on, like the things we had to do. Come on, man. We had to overcome some things. All right. Defensive player of the year, of course. Clelin Ferrell. X Factor? Question mark. X Factor, probably, right? Rookie of the year. Yep, that's. I mean, as you can see, most of these guys do look like non-quarterbacks, so I mean, sure, dude. That's guy hasn't played in like 6 weeks, but that's yep, nice. Best quarterback, definitely not on the list. Just didn't have much time with Trubisky as a starter. Josh Jacobs at number 6. Receivers, of course, we're not going to have anyone on the list, but Waller would have been up there, but tight ends aren't technically wide receivers. O-line not on the list, not surprising. D-line, Clelin, of course. Really the only guy that's going to compete for awards for us. Linebacker. Oh, Trayvon at number 2. Mullen at number 5. And then, of course, Kwiatkowski at number 10. Okay, interesting to see him on the list. And then Daniel Carlson, star dev. Maybe even could put him at superstar, and I don't think anyone would argue. It's more than superstar X Factor. Superstar X Factor. But yeah, let's do an upgrade, see if we have any. Wow! What a list! Of course, you do get all the XP, I think, during the Super Bowl week, so, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, who even is that? Has he even played a snap for us? Who? Julius Mitchell. I suppose if you're going to be talking about let me think. The first thing you would think about when you're playing... Let's talk to our guy first. That's the one. Lasserott's got to be Richie Incognito. There's no one else. Coach, I wasn't going to say it, but it feels like this might be it for Richie Incognito. He's an offensive lineman that crashes his car a lot, so, we want to make sure that we win. Not even just for his retirement, just so, the team is safe, really. And, talked about at the beginning of the year, it could be his, time coming, extra motivation. This is it for him. It'd be nice to send him out with a ring for a storybook ending to his career. He deserves it after all these years. I mean... I don't know if I would say deserves it, but, I mean, playing late into his age, I guess. I mean, sure, maybe. But here we are, Coach. You're up against the Browns this week, and they've been playing great football lately. Can you end their win streak? Why would I insult them? I feel pretty good. They've looked unbeatable the last few weeks, but we have a locker room full of guys ready to step up to the challenge. And, yeah, I mean, how slow are people reading? Browns are playing well, and all players will have +10 to break, tackle, play rec, and tackle for this game. Wait, is that for both teams, or did we just get +20? And then let's go into the Blizzard Dairy Queen treat. There's the old man, and speaking of, all right, fellas, for where Blizzard-like conditions out there, I can't wait for it to not be a blizzard, and it's going to be just weird. Snow like this, great equalizer. Browns are a dangerous team, even regular. So this is not an equalizer because they have a very good ground game. Ours isn't bad, but theirs is definitely better. Service going to be slow. The footing was going to be rough. We have to play fundamentally sound football. I mean, this is a disaster for us. Honestly, this is the worst thing you could even ask for. But players of both teams have trouble accelerating, changing directions, and reaching their normal top speed. Game day goal, beat the Browns. The problem is we have trouble reaching our top speed as well, normally. And even when we do reach the top speed, it's not very good. We are definitely one of the slower teams in the league, so this is probably the worst thing that can happen for us. But, I mean, what can you do? You have to play it. You have no choice. They have almost 10 overalls on us. And I'm glad that our stats and awards gave us no XP. Makes me feel great. It's just awesome. Anyways, that is going to be it for this episode of our Raiders franchise. I know it's a kind of a quick one, but that's kind of what these stats and awards are. Just a quick look at the seasonal stats, see how we went and, did, what awards you may have won, any XP and all that. And, of course, the kind of scenarios going into this playoff game going against the Browns, who are 12-5 with a almost 10 overall higher overall than us. Of course, a tough task ahead of us, especially in the blizzard, apparently. Should be a fun one, though. Hopefully you guys do, I wouldn't say stick around for that, because that's going to be tomorrow. I'm not sure exactly when, but sometime tomorrow. But not done with the content today, as we will have a Miami Dolphins franchise out a little bit later today, maybe in a couple of hours, so be on the lookout for that. And that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. If you guys enjoyed, maybe leave a like, maybe subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr, second channel, Jeromepkr Plays, and then twitch.tv/Jeromepkr, where we streamed this yesterday, and we will be back streaming again tomorrow. So that's about it. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you guys come back for next video. But until next video, see ya!